Hey, I hope this angle is okay for you guys. I didn't film any close-up footage for this look, so I hope that this is at least close enough for now and you guys are able to see everything I'm doing. Let me know in the comments. This is as far in as my camera zooms. I really need to get a new lens. First things first, for my eye primer, I'm using P. Louise's Base in the shade 2. So I'm just taking a concealer brush and starting by applying a little bit of the base underneath my eyebrow. And I'm just basically applying it all over my lid and my entire eye area. Now I'm going to take a Sigma E60 brush and just start patting all over this and just really patting it sort of aggressively into my face. I'm also being sure to pat around the edges and sort of blend it into my foundation a little bit. Alright, so for this eye look, I'm using the Anastasia Norvina Palette Volume 2. And the first shade that I'm using is D5, which is a very dark, true navy blue color. And I'm just using my Sigma E36 brush to start patting this in the outer corner of my lid. So I'm doing a patting motion, but also kind of blending a little bit just to make sure I get into all the fine lines of my eyes. I don't know, I feel like my skin is relatively textured, so I feel like I have to kind of wiggle the brush around a little bit to make sure I get the pigment all up in there. And I'm also adding it to the inner part of my lid, around my inner corner. And I'm slowly just patting the eyeshadow all through my crease to connect those two parts. And I'm just blending it all through, nice and evenly, through my whole crease around my lid. Now I'm using a Luxie 213 brush in the shade E3. And I'm adding this darkish green shade right around the edge of where I just applied that blue. So I'm not blending it too far out or anything like that. I'm just kind of patting it right around the edge. Just using patting motions to slowly start blending that out a little bit. Now I'm going into the B3 eyeshadow and using a Sigma E27 detail blending brush to start patting this around the edge of the previous eyeshadow. I do have one more eyeshadow I'm going to be adding around the edge after this, so I'm really trying to leave enough room for it, but I'm getting a little bit worried here. Just really carefully patting this around the very edge and also desperately trying to make it even with my other eye. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And finally, I'm going in with the last shade, which is A2. And I'm using this really small brush. It comes in the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. And I actually love using this brush for very layered, blended looks. And I don't have any other brushes in my collection that I love quite as much for this purpose. I'm just following the same step as before and just patting the pigment of this eyeshadow around the edge of the previous shade. I apologize for using a bit of an obscure brush that not everybody is going to have, but I just love it so much I can't not use it. Now I'm going in with a small tapered blending brush from Morphe. It doesn't have a number or else I would tell you. And I'm just using the tiniest amount of B3 eyeshadow and just blending it out into that yellowish shade. And just making sure all the blending is nice and seamless. And at this point, I'm going back in with my Sigma E36 brush and the D5 eyeshadow. And I'm adding some of that pigment back in and blending it out into the green. I'm just really working the blending until I'm satisfied, and also I'm trying really hard to make sure that it's going to be even with my other eye because sometimes I struggle with that. I almost wiped this eye off 3 times because I wasn't happy with how it was blending together. But after, working it and going back and forth with the different eyeshadows, it's really coming together and working out, and I'm very satisfied. So before I blend the actual skin off of my eyelid, I'm going down and dragging the D5 shade along my lower lash line. And then I'm going straight to the B3 shade and also bringing that down along my lower lash line. This is a Luxie 131 brush, by the way. And now I'm using a Sigma E70 brush and the A2 shade and bringing that around my blended masterpiece down along my lower lash line. And I'm bringing this all the way around up into sort of my inner corner area. So it's really coming full circle here and sort of connecting to where I already applied all the eyeshadow up here on the top. I just took a break to eat, so I'm feeling nice and energized. So I'm using more of the P. Louise base and just going in. I'm just going in heavy with it, right in the middle with a concealer brush. So I'm bringing that right up into like the wrinkles of my crease, and then I'm gonna look around a little bit. Then start to extend this out into the edges a little bit. So I really have to be careful to make this even with my right eye here. So I'm really focusing here. Focus, focus, focus. All right, so I don't know if you can see, but it is absolutely not even at all right now. So I have to bring the crease up a little bit higher to match with my other eye. So now I'm going to take my Sigma LO6 brush and some of the D5 eyeshadow and bring that around right above where I just cut the crease, just to make it nice and sharp and make sure that the blue is really coming all the way around the halo. Taking my trusty dusty Sigma E36 brush and really making sure that that blue shade is nice and blended. And now I'm just going back in with the base and sort of recutting the crease a little bit. So I'm just going to pat the E3 shade all around my lid and make sure I'm blending it into the edges, like where the eyeshadow meets the base. And now I'm going to go in with the A2 shade and packing it right up to the very edge of the crease and then down the center, down towards my lash line. And now is the time to go back in with the green and just even out any parts that are a little bit patchy or whatever. The last eyeshadow that I'm going to use is A3, which is basically a shimmery version of A2. And I'm just wetting my brush a little bit before going into it so I can really pack that shimmery pigment on there. And again, I'm bringing this right up to where I cut the crease, right up to the edge there. And basically just going over the center of my lid and blending it out into the surrounding shadow. Alright, so it's pretty even with my other eye. I'm going to try not to obsess on it. Before I do any eyeliner, I'm just taking a Sigma E20 brush and some of the dark blue shade, D5, and kind of patting this along my lash line. And then for my eyeliner, I'm just using the Anastasia liquid liner, and I'm just going to be making a very simple medium thickness line along my upper lash line. No wing or anything fancy. I'm just adding a quick layer of Ciate London's Wonderland mascara to my upper lashes. I'm just quickly lining my waterline with a black eyeliner from Dose of Colors. For this look, I'm using the style Ella from Lily Lashes. Just pop those right on there. And I'm just going to finish up the eyes with some mascara on my lower lashes. Quickly gonna pop on some cream contour. This is Anastasia's Shadow Stick Foundation. And I'm just gonna blend that in with an iconic London contour brush. Really blending it in, blending it upwards from my contour line. To add some color into my pale ass face, I'm going to use some of NARS's Dolce Vita liquid blush. I just recently bought this with the friends and family Sephora discounts that went out, and I'm so surprised with how potent it is. I used the littlest, tiniest amount on my finger, and look at my cheeks. They're so rosy. Well, this one cheek, because I haven't done the other one yet. But I'm really just adding the littlest amount ever. And then I'm going over with my sponge to tone it down a little bit. For my highlight, I'm going to use a little bit of Helia from the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit. I'm just dusting this on using a Luxie 520 brush. Not adding too much. This is a pretty low-key highlight for me, to be honest. I know it's green, but in the scope of how I usually like my highlights, this one is pretty low-key. The lip liner that I'm using is called Hex, and it's from Melt Cosmetics. I'm just filling in my lips with Huda Beauty's matte lipstick in the shade Dirty 30. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of an ombre with some concealer in the middle, just patting in some concealer right in the center of my lips. This matte lipstick is so smooth and nice. I love it so much. Oh, oh my gosh, wait a second. Where are they? I actually have earrings that will match this look perfectly. I have to put them on. All right, the problem is, how do I get these earrings off? Okay, this is gonna be complicated. Oh my god, why is this so hard? Why are earrings so hard to take off with nails? Oh, there we go. Yes. I just recently got my second holes in my ears pierced and one of my cartilages and my belly button. So, when I did get the second holes, like after I got those piercings, I bought these hoops to keep in my normal holes, like my first holes, because I usually don't wear earrings. So I was like, I need to start, keeping earrings in all the time. Be, one of those cool people that does that. Oh my god, I can't get this one out. I'm gonna try using tweezers. Is that a bad idea? That didn't work. Oh my god, it's so hard because it's like a tiny little hoop and I have to like pull it apart, but I can't fit. Oh, I got it. Yay! Oh my gosh, look how good it matches. We matching. I feel so fancy right now. Look at this. I'm like, yeah, my eye makeup matches my earrings. What are you gonna do about it? I feel so weird wearing big earrings because I never wear earrings. Oh my god. Anyways, here's the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I love you so much. I will see you in my next video.